Hey guys, Joe the Auto Guy here today to show you how to do an oil change on a 2009 to 2016 Chevy Traverse, GMC Acadia, Saturn Outlook, or Buick Enclave. Now these all use the GM 3.6 liter. Oil viscosities don't change, 5W30, but in 2011 GM wanted a Dexos update for their oil, so it's a full synthetic, always recommended. I always recommend a full synthetic on these variable valve timing engines anyways. And don't listen to the oil life monitor. In my eyes, I like to do 3,500 to 5,000 miles maximum. Sometimes they'll still say they have 40% oil life or 50%. Why would you go that long in oil even if you have oil? It says it goes that far. These engines have a known Achilles heel of timing chains, basically from lack of maintenance is what it seems like. So we're going to go ahead and do the oil change on this and show you how to do it. Well, the first part of any oil change is make sure that the hood opens. That's step one. If you can't open the hood, you can't put oil back in the engine. Sometimes these latches stick, depending on what vehicle you're on. Open your oil cap. Put it somewhere where you're not going to lose it or it's going to fall down. And pop the dipstick tube up. That way, oil will drain faster out. Now you can see we have the vehicle lifted up on jack stands. It is secure, and not just by a jack, it's secure on jack stands. So you can do it on ramps if you're doing an oil change, but if you're taking the wheels off or anything, make sure you guys got jack stands. So we're gonna go underneath right away, and I have a little bit of an oil leak, it seems, as I've been under here. And we're going to showcase the oil level. And I have a big trusty light down here if we so need it. Here's the front bumper. We're going to go underneath. Engine oil pan is right here. Drain plug is right here. You can get it right through this cross member. Okay. So we're taking your 15 mil wrench, going through, you're just going to loosen it up. Sorry about the bright light there. Just going to loosen it up. And let the drain plug go and drain the oil out of it. Now you can see that our oil is coming to a slow drip. Let this drip the rest of the way out, and we'll put the drain plug back in. Okay, I'm going to put the drain plug back in. We're going to tighten it up. Wipe off any oil that you got on anything. We're going to be back under here in a second, so Now the oil filter you have to get from above, but it's going to drain oil down the motor mount and stuff here. So what you want to do is move your drain pan to underneath the oil pan, but then about right underneath this motor mount. So the widest part between here and here, and you're going to watch oil come down right here. Otherwise you'll leave a spot in your garage floor, you know, around it. It can be cleaned up. So you can see in this one, the oil filter is located directly down there. You can see it, little black part sticking out, and this is right next to the exhaust manifold, so if your engine's hot, this sucks. But what you're gonna do is I'm gonna try to get as much light in there as I can as I do this. And this is a really terrible spot to film, but you're gonna take your strap wrench, go down and loosen it up, which I already did. Get your hand down there and just spin it. Like I said, you can't even really see it. You can see how my hand's right next to the exhaust manifold. You can hear it draining. Just keep spinning it. And you're going to rotate it and move it up straight so you don't dump oil all over the place. Now this is where you take your old oil filter, make sure that the gasket came off. There's a little rubber gasket right here. Make sure that came off. Because if that's on, you're going to have a huge oil mess later. Now we're going to take our new oil filter. And you're going to want to coat with some oil the new gasket. Just make sure that gasket's nice and coated. That way you can spin the new one on and the gasket seats properly, and this doesn't just rubber lock and slip, it'll just seal right up. And again, I'm sorry about the terrible filming location. This is so tight in there with lighting and stuff. But you can see straight down and at an angle like this, you're going to go up and in. So, kind of put it down there like this. Once you're down there, right at the exhaust manifold, you can kind of use your pinky and feel it on the engine. You can feel the big threaded part that the oil filter threads onto. I'll show you if you can see the Wix number down there. See that? Just kind of right there at that angle. And screw it on. Once she seats tight, just a quarter turn more. And your oil filter is on. This is where you're going to go underneath, wipe off any of the oil that's spilled. What I usually do is spray these off with some degreaser and stuff after it's done. Otherwise you'll just get oil continuing to drip. Okay, so that's that one done. Now we're going to put oil back in the vehicle. No, I'm not here to get an argument about which oil you're using or anything, but if you're using it on a GM engine You know, whether or not you believe in the logo at all, you just want, you know, use your engine oil. I like to use full synthetic 5W30 Mobile 1 on the 3.6 VVT engine. But make sure any oil you're using is Dexos approved. See the logo right there? That's GM's rating for their oils. If your car requires Dexos, make sure it does that. Any GM car past 2011 requires Dexos approved oil. So this may be a 2010, but that's what I use. And pour the oil in. And this end actually has 4 quarts in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I've used it in the past. So this is 4 quarts. I have 2 more quarts ready to go. So this engine takes 6 quarts. So this will be 4. And the last quart. So 6 quarts total. All right. Wipe off any spillage if you have any. Tighten your oil cap back on. Now we're going to start it and check for leaks and check the oil level after we've started it. You always check your oil level while it's not running. So you're going to take it, wipe off the first level. Now if you look, if we can focus on the dipstick tube, you can see that we have crosshatches. You want to be in the middle here. Lower crosshatch means low, upper crosshatch means full. In the middle, anywhere in here, your safe zone, just make sure you're not past that top crosshatch level. So after you've wiped it off, put it down once, pull it back up. And you can see I'm at that second mark there. Oil level is good. We are in the safe zone. What I like to do is you put a little bit of oil, put a little bit on these O-rings so they don't stick in the tube. And you gotta remember, I mean, the car is elevated a little bit and slanted back just slightly with the jack stand, so it might be actually a little bit higher when it's level on the ground. But you're in the safe zone, you're good to go.